afternoon. Today we are going to review the renewal process, go over changes, and see some enhancements from BeneFLEX's new software platform. Let's introduce to you the BeneFLEX members here today. I'm Judy Coleman, Sales Manager and Certified in Flexible Compensation by the ECFC. Joining me today is Jim Schmershel, Managing Partner of the accounting firm Schmershel Treloar, Mark Schmershel, Vice President of BeneFLEX, and he is also FCS certified. Brenda Cox is our Operations Manager, and Brenda is certified in Flexible Compensation as well. For today's presentation, you will be in listen-only mode. If you have any questions, please type them in, and we will answer them at the end of the presentation as time permits. If you registered for the webinar prior to today, you should have received a copy of the PowerPoint presentation as well as the instructions for Employee and Employer Online Enrollment. With all the activities surrounding healthcare reform, our new software platform, and our new website, I would like to take a moment to make sure everyone is aware of the different educational BeneBlasts we have sent out to help you navigate your benefits. Most recently, we sent out the Business Associate Agreement. We will need to have these updated with all of our clients, and we are asking that they be updated by October the 15th. We sent out the changes to the BeneFLEX Administer HRAs that went to our San Francisco clients that utilize our HCSO HRA. We sent out the 2014 renewal, which included the renewal questionnaire. We would appreciate if you would get those back to us as quickly as possible. We sent out a BeneBlast regarding our monthly year-to-date reports. There was a PowerPoint that was included that compared our old reports to the new ones. We had sent out a BeneBlast saying we are live in our new software platform with the Employee and Employer portal flyers. We sent out a flyer regarding our mobile app that we would ask you to share with your employees. We sent out information regarding the exchange notice that was to be sent to all of your employees by October the 1st, and we sent out information regarding the PCORI fee deduction. These are all available on our website under News if you do not have a copy of them. This is a list of all the plan types that renew throughout the year. Most of us are going to be renewing our flexible spending accounts, the FSA and the limited FSA. And remember, new elections are required by each participant every year. The health reimbursement arrangements will renew as your insurance renews, the HRA and the limited HRA. Once your insurance renews, we will send out a census for you to update with all of your changes for the new year. The San Francisco HCSO HRA, that renews on a quarterly basis. Contributions are sent and new participants are sent to us quarterly. The Transportation Management Accounts, TMA, the monthly renewal for public transportation and parking. The Health Savings Account, this email was sent out with the renewal for January 1st. It was sent out on October the 3rd from HSA Processing. Remember, even if your insurance does not renew until later in the year, the maximum contributions change on January the 1st, so your employees might want to take advantage of being able to put away additional funds for 2014. The BeneCard debit card, we need new copay information that minimizes the number of letters that we have to send out for substantiation. The COBRA HIPAA administration, we always send out and ask for your new rates. Active COBRA participants have a right to make a change to their coverage levels at renewal, so we send out the packets with their renewal information. And then, of course, with retiree billing, we need the new rates for the year. But today we're going to mainly focus on the FSA, HRA, and TMA renewals. The renewal letter and questionnaire were emailed to each client on Monday, September 23rd, and a second reminder was sent on Monday, October 7th, just yesterday. It is important that you reply so we can set a time for your renewal. We have many plans renewing at the same time, and by replying, it allows us to schedule a work plan for you. If you did not receive this email, please contact Mary Ann Downs. We have provided her information at the end of this presentation. If you no longer handle the benefits, please let us know who to forward the information to in your organization. Let's take a moment to review the renewal process and the deadlines for 2014. BeneFLEX will need all of your enrollments by December 2nd. This will guarantee that cards are loaded and all new participants receive their cards by January 1st. If you submit your elections between December 3rd and December 9th, cards will be loaded and new cards are issued but are not guaranteed to be done by January 1st, and they may be delayed to the end of January. Participants may submit manual claims until new cards are received and existing cards are loaded. If we receive your elections after December 9th, new cards are going to be issued and existing cards are loaded, but there may be a delay up to mid-February to get all of that taken care of. Participants may submit manual claims until new cards are received and existing cards are loaded. However, reimbursements may be delayed as well. Files received after December 2nd will be processed in the order of the date they are received. BeneFLEX has been using the questionnaire format for several years to collect the data for a smooth and easy renewal process. For those of you that are new to the process, we are going to quickly go through each section of the questionnaire. We have simplified the process for you by making this a fillable form. Once the form has been completed, you will need to click on the Submit button in the upper right-hand corner. If you receive an error when trying to submit, make sure you have answered the 3 required questions under Choose Type of Re-Enrollment. On the first section, we are asking you to complete your company information, including contact and broker information. This may seem redundant, however, this gives us the opportunity to verify we have the correct information. Under plan information, you will first let us know which plans you are going to renew with BeneFLEX by checking the appropriate boxes. Question number 2 asks for any changes you are making to your plan design. For 2014, the IRS has not released the cost of living adjustment for the medical FSA. It will remain at $2,500, and we will notify you if this changes. The FSA and HRA runout period is the time participants have to file claims incurred in the prior plan year. The employer may set a different runout period for terminated employees. If you do not currently offer the FSA grace period, you may amend your plan at this time to include the grace period. The grace period is the additional time allowing participants to continue to incur expenses to a maximum of 75 days. You may also indicate if you would like to offer the Bene debit card if you are not already doing so. Under question number 3, we would like for you to update all your copay information. This will minimize the receipt request for substantiation on Bene card swipes. If you have not renewed your medical insurance yet, you may submit the copay information to us at a later date. In this section, you are required to let us know how you are going to submit your elections to BeneFLEX. You have 3 options. The most popular option is Employee Online Enrollment. You also have the option of Employer Online Enrollment, or you may submit your elections electronically on the Excel spreadsheet provided by BeneFLEX. It is required before submitting this form to enter the dates of your enrollment period. For example, if you start your enrollment on November 1st and go through November 15th, the online enrollment will be available until midnight on November 15th. If providing your elections on our Excel spreadsheet, the annual election will be entered on the spreadsheet. If you are doing Employee or Employer Online Enrollment, you will receive a weekly report showing who has been enrolled. The system will automatically calculate the per pay contribution based on the number of pay periods. This is a new feature. In the past, you've provided the per pay amount. All elections should be submitted at one time. If you have any changes or late enrollments, they must be submitted on the spreadsheet provided by BeneFLEX titled 2014 Late Enrollments. This is very important to help elections from being missed. This brings us to what we believe is the most important step in providing a successful benefit is the education. We are available to do group meetings, benefit fairs, webinars, and we also offer pre-recorded webinars on our website. Our enrollment brochure and educational materials are available electronically through the links on your renewal letter and in hard copy. If you would like for us to mail materials, just let us know how many and what date you need them. Finally, if you would like additional information on any other benefits, please check the appropriate box and your account manager will contact you. If you need additional information on Form 5500 filing, let us know and a representative from Schmershel-Treloar will contact you. Once BeneFLEX has received your renewal questionnaire, we will send you a census based on your responses. The format of the file may not be changed. If you change the format, you run the risk of errors and delays in processing. If you have chosen to do Employee or Employer Online Enrollment, we will need you to update your census to include all eligible employees. We will need your census 2 weeks prior to online enrollment so everyone will be in the system. Receiving the information in an electronic format reduces errors in trying to read handwritten forms. The IRS mandates the enrollment period be observed. All election forms must be signed and dated by the participant prior to the start of the plan year. BeneFLEX does not need to receive copies of the enrollment forms. You should keep them for your files. The card vendor will calculate the 3% pre-fund, and BeneFLEX will contact you with any necessary adjustments. BeneFLEX will perform discrimination testing on your plan. IRS guidelines require this be performed at the end of the plan year to include all new hires. BeneFLEX uses the BeneDebit card, one card for all benefits depending on the plan design. The Bene card is a smart card and can only be used at medically coded merchants, including dental and vision facilities. So if you're not currently offering the debit card, it may be something you want to consider for 2014. BeneFLEX has a variety of educational pieces for your use. When requesting educational materials, please allow 5 business days for preparation. We also encourage mandatory educational meetings. However, if this is not possible, we have 4 English and 4 Spanish FSA educational webinars available on our website. Here is a list of some of the available pieces. We have enrollment brochures, payroll stuffers, posters, an eligible expenses list, receipt reminder envelopes. We have those educational webinars, and we have some of this information in both English and Spanish. The payroll stuffer is available in both English and Spanish. All of the links to download these payroll stuffers and the following materials were included on your renewal letter. We have receipt reminder envelopes, FSA posters, and a 2014 FSA claim form. We also have a Spanish claim form, and the link is included in the renewal letter and can also be accessed on our website. This is a sample of the worksheet that is included in the enrollment brochure, which also includes FAQs and an enrollment form. The insert provides an eligible expenses listing, direct deposit form, and a claim form. Participants may access the educational webinars on our website at BeneFLEXhr.com under Education. They have 4 options available for viewing in both English and Spanish based on their life situation. Employees have access to a tax savings calculator on our website by clicking on Education and then How Your Paycheck Buys More. They also have additional frequently asked questions available. Employees have several options for checking their account balance. They may call these numbers and press 2. Employees have access to their account online 24/7 and can check their balance through the employee portal. The format of the username and password are on the flyer we talked about at the beginning of the presentation. And just as a reminder, their username is their first initial, last name, last 4 digits of their Social Security number, and their home state abbreviation. And the temporary password that has been assigned is BeneFLEX, all lowercase letters. Another exciting new feature, they may download the BeneFLEX HR mobile app on all iPhone and Android devices. Participants will be able to view their account balances, claims history, contributions, and submit medical FSA claims. Participants may sign up for text alert messages through the employee portal. They may receive text alerts to let them know they have submitted a claim has been denied, or a receipt reminder letting them know they need to provide a copy of one of their receipts to substantiate a claim. If you choose online enrollment, BeneFLEX has tutorials available to walk you through the process. We will run through the next short presentation to show you the ease of this process. So we're first going to show you how the employees can do Employee Online Enrollment. They will go to our website and click on Employee, and then click on Employee Login. And like I said, they will enter their username and password. And the first time that they log in, again, their username is their first initial, last name, last 4 digits of their Social Security number, and their home state abbreviation. The temporary password is BeneFLEX, all lowercase letters. So once they have entered their temporary password, they're going to be, the first time that they log in, they are going to be prompted to answer 5 security questions and then change their password. Once they're logged into the system, if they want to change their username, they can go to Profile, click on Login Information, and then they will be able to follow the prompts to change their username. From the home screen, they will be able to access their online enrollment. So it will tell them it's annual open enrollment time. They will click on Enroll Now. And from this screen, they will be able to view the different plan types that are available for them to enroll in. So it gives them a brief description of each of the plans. Then if they click on Plan Description, they are given the details of the plan. And if they scroll to the bottom of this page, they will see their summary plan description for your flexible spending account. After they have viewed their plan descriptions, it's time to make their benefit selection. So they click on Begin Your Enrollment Now. They will review and update their profile information here. So the home phone number is a required field, so we're going to go ahead and enter that. We're going to scroll to the bottom, click on Continue. And at this point, they are able to enter any dependents, so they can add a dependent or update the information on the dependents that are already currently in the system. So there's already 1 dependent added, so we're going to click Continue. The dependents do need to be entered if someone is enrolling for dependent daycare. So at this point, there is an agreement that each participant signs that says that they have read and understand the rules of the medical FSA, and they've read and understand the rules of the dependent care account. They do have to check both of these boxes before they will be allowed to continue. So they are checking to say that they understand that they have been offered both of these benefits for the year. And at this point, they can enter their election. They can enter the amount that they plan to enroll in for the new year. So we have entered the election. And if you notice, it is telling them that there's an error in their election because they have elected more than they're allowed under the medical FSA. So they will need to go back and change that. Then they can click Calculate, and it's going to show them their total elections for the year is $4,000 between the medical and dependent care accounts. Their total tax savings based on a 30% tax rate is $1,200, and their estimated per pay period deduction is $166.67. So now they may continue. And at any time during open enrollment, the participant may go back in and update their election. So once, though, your open enrollment date has ended, they will not be able to go back in and make any changes to their election for 2014. So at this point, it's going to look at their payment method. And their debit card is their primary payment method if you are using the Bene debit card. And then here they can choose check or direct deposit. And they will need to enter their direct deposit information for the new plan year. So if they click on direct deposit, they can go in and update that information at any time or edit it below. So under method of reimbursement, they can always go in and edit that information and add the direct deposit. So they're supposed to verify their enrollment information, and under any of these sections they can go in and edit the information before they click continue. So they see that all the information is correct, they're going to hit submit. And here they get their enrollment confirmation. It says, congratulations, you have successfully enrolled in the following pre-tax benefit plans. So if they have provided their email address, they'll get an email confirmation, and they are also able to print their confirmation right here from the screen. Again, anytime during open enrollment, they're able to go in and print their enrollment confirmation. Now we're going to go ahead and show you how easily you can do employer online enrollment. So again, you would go to our website at BeneFLEXhr.com. You would click on Employer and Employer Login. And you should have received a secure email back in August with your username and password for the new employer portal. So you'll go ahead and log in with that information. And once you're logged into the employer portal, you would click on Employees. And next you will see the selection for View All Employees, so you may click on View All Employees. And we're going to go ahead and enter an enrollment for Jessica Coleman. We're going to click on her, and we can go in and update her profile. But at this time, everything looks correct, so we're going to go ahead and enter click on Enrollment. And then we're going to click on Add Enrollment. And next, you'll be prompted to enter their enrollment for 2014. So we're going to enroll her in the Medical FSA. The effective date will be January 1st, 2014. And we're going to enter her enrollment. And then we're going to scroll to the bottom and add the enrollment. So after the employees' elections have been made, you can scroll to the bottom and click that Add Enrollment. It shows that we've successfully enrolled the employee in the following plan. And if we needed to add other enrollments for her, we could. Otherwise, we would just go in and do the same process for all the employees. If you need to add an employee in, you could add a new employee by clicking on Add Employee. And at any time during open enrollment, you may go in and update an employee selection. So you're just going to continue that process until you have been able to get everyone enrolled. Now, for the HRA renewal, if your medical plan renews anytime other than January 1st, you will receive your HRA renewal questionnaire and letter 2 months prior to your medical insurance renewal. If your medical insurance plan renews January 1st, you will not be receiving a separate letter and questionnaire. It is included in the notification you received on Monday, September 23rd, and again on October 7th. Notify BeneFLEX of any changes to your HRA plan design. BeneFLEX will provide an updated claim form and census for you to review and make revisions, including new hires, terminations, and status changes. We will need these changes at least 2 weeks prior to your enrollment meetings. For groups which we administer their HRA, an amended plan document and summary plan description will be provided to include changes in your plan design. Each participant must receive an updated SPD. The summary of benefits and coverage, which was a new requirement last year, mandates all employees and beneficiaries receive a copy at open enrollment. We will be providing an electronic copy of the SBC at no additional cost. For the transportation management account, we would like for you to watch for the new 2014 limits, which may affect participants' elections for the upcoming year. Based on the 2014 limits, participants may need to adjust their monthly contribution. BeneFLEX will notify you in a BeneBlast once we receive the cost of living adjustments for 2014. The claims processing deadline has remained the same. The weekly submission deadline for HRA claims is Monday at 3 o'clock Central Standard Time. The weekly submission deadline for FSA and TMA claims is Tuesday at 3 o'clock. And weekly processing of claims is on Thursday. Checks are mailed out on Friday with the exception of holidays and severe weather-related incidents. So at this time, I'm going to turn it over to Jim Schmarshall, and he is going to go through the overview of the new monthly year-to-date report.
Thank you, Judy. This is Jim Schmarshall. As Judy says, I've been charged with a summary overview of the new monthly year-to-date reports. They are really very slick. That's a technical term. So we're going to walk through them. The changes that were made to the reports include, importantly, no more Social Security numbers appearing on the year-to-date reports. The previous reports were program and design DH, which was before HIPAA. And so they had Social Security numbers. Those have now been replaced with a computer-generated participant ID number, and so the reports don't have that information. And since they don't have that information, you no longer have to use the secure email function, and you can receive your reports via regular email in a very smooth fashion. You'll get these reports on a monthly basis, and you'll get most of them in an Excel spreadsheet, as we'll discuss a little further in a minute. And you'll be able to get these reports also on the employer portal if you want. Now, they have lots of additional details over and above what you used to have, and you can use the meat in these reports to go through and analyze your benefits more effectively. Now, we mentioned a minute ago that there is some new format enhancements, and those format enhancements include the ability to much more easily manipulate your report data. That was something you asked for, and we heard you. You'll receive now weekly reports or monthly reports that you can see in an Excel format that will give you the opportunity to manipulate these reports. Now, we initially found the Excel manipulation feature was not quite as smooth as we wanted it to be, so we have worked to create a way to make the Excel review easier and more efficient for you, so you can more comfortably manipulate these reports and customize them to make them your own. Now, to do this does require that you know the double super secret handshake, and so what we're going to do next is let you in on that. Is literally just a couple of clicks. You get these emails, as we said, on a monthly basis from no reply at BeneFlexhr, and it'll look just like this. This is the summary report you receive. You can tell it's the summary report because you recognize it, also because the arrow down at the bottom points to summary, and if you wanted the detailed report instead, you would simply go one tab to the right and click on Detailed instead, and you'd have all the detailed information. Now, to make these reports much more comfortable and workable in Excel, the first thing you do is simply click the upper left corner of the spreadsheet, which will highlight the entire spreadsheet. After you do that, you right-click on your mouse, and right-clicking on your mouse will give you an option to format cells. So select the Format Cells option, and when you do that, the formatting box appears. You'll get a formatting box that looks just like the one you see before you. And when you get that formatting box, click Alignment. You can see the arrow pointing to the alignment box. So you simply click Alignment, and now you have control over the text. Now what you want to do is you want to disengage the wrap text box so that you'll have an easier to work with Excel file. And you disengage it by simply clicking do now is talk about report content and review. So the migration to the better software is complete, so the new sophisticated software is complete. Thank you, Brenda, Judy, and others. And it went very well. We've had very little of any problems. We do think it's important for you to review your reports the first time you get them to be sure that all the participant and account balance data is there. We've had no problems. We expect that you won't find anything, but we think it's important for you to do that just to double check. Then take a step back, look at the report labels and headers to identify the information you have now, which is more robust than what you had before, and give you a chance, and we're going to walk through it in a second, to understand what you have now versus what you got before. Then, always important to tie out your weekly activity. I'm a geek CPA, and so tying out the weekly activity is near and dear to my heart. And then you can analyze your FSA program and other programs, your plans, using the additional data that's in the reports. Now let's look at a couple of these reports. Let's look at the detailed summary report, which you now have in front of you. And what we have here is we have the current report at the top, and we have the old report format at the bottom so that you can sort of compare and contrast. Let's just walk through from left to right. Plan name is self-explanatory. This report gives us both a breakdown of the totals, because this report is a comprehensive plan-wide view of the plan totals. Now later we'll look at the account balance details page, which is on a per participant basis and has a few more headings in detail. This is on a summary basis. So for the medical and the dependent care FSA plan, you've got everything right here in front of you. Consumers, which used to be called participants in the old nomenclature. Consumers are listed first. It tells us in this report we have 16 medical FSA consumers, 3 dependent care consumers. Now, I am a CPA. I can tell you that 16 plus 3, 8, 17. And that's simply because in the dependent care are 2 dependent care participants who also have elected the medical FSA. So you have, this report tells you that you have 16 medical FSA participants. 2 of those participants have also elected dependent care, and then you have 1 who is a standalone dependent care member as well. The election is simply that, the total of the elections that have been made by all of your participants during the year. The paid column used to be called disbursement. It's now the paid column and represents the payments that have been made to the participants through the date of the report. Now, there's a little asterisk, and it says just what I said. That is, this is through the date the report is generated, not necessarily the effective date of the payment, because, for example, gotcha files, which would be dated today, would be received by your participants tomorrow. The ACH dating would be the next day. Those are federal government regulations, assuming that at 240 we still have a federal government. Those are the federal government regulations associated with that. So that's what the paid column means. Pending. Pending can mean either pending for time or pending for funds availability. For medical or dependent care, it can be time, which simply says these are claims that have been received and adjudicated but not yet dispersed, so they're pending payment for the next processing. Or it could be that you simply don't have, in this case of dependent care, you simply don't have enough funds available to pay out all of the claims that have been made, and so they'll be pending until those monies are contributed. Fees are the BeneCare reissue fees, $10, that's pretty standard. Consumer deposits used to be called contributions, and it's just that. Consumer deposits are the participant contributions into the plan, both for medical and dependent care. The plan year balance really has relevance to dependent care only, which is why you see NA in the medical reimbursement column. And though that balance is used to tell you whether or not claims would be approved for payment when the account is fully funded. So in the case of dependent care, far right, the balance was simply the cash basis balance that you was reported, and so now it's got the heading of cash balance, and it is simply the contributions that have been made less claims paid, less the fees that have been incurred, gives you the cash balance in the plan. Now that's different, of course, than available balance. Available balance is the amount that is available for claim reimbursement. Of course, that's different for medical FSA and dependent care. For medical FSA, that is dependent upon the election amount. And so the available balance is computed as the election amount, less payments, less pending payments, less Bene fees will give you the available balance. That's how much the person, the participant, can still pull out the plan. With regard to dependent care, of course, that is dependent not upon the election amount, but rather the amount of consumer deposits to date. And so in this instance, because they've only paid $9.99, the $21.01 pending claim leaves them with a negative available balance of $11.02 until such time that they have further contributions and so on. So those are the headings and the information that's in the detail report. Now let's take a look in the same fashion at the detail pages, which is the plan detail on a per participant basis. And because it's on a per participant basis, we have a little more detail available for you. You can see we have the employer name, plan year, the plan type, the identifier that we talked about before, the random identifier that takes the place of the Social Security number. And so that is the number that we use in our computer system to track the employees. Their employment status. We use BeneFLEX as an example, so unfortunately all these wonderful people are still active. Last name first, first name last, the election effective date. The election, of course, is the specific election that each participant has made. The paid column, as we discussed, is the amount that has been paid out to date. Pending is in the same fashion. Those claims that have not yet been paid out, either because they're pending for time or because the funds, in the case of dependent care, aren't available. Any card fees are the fees. Consumer deposits are the amount that has been paid in per participant to date for the plan. The plan year balance, as we mentioned, is dependent care relevant only, which is why you see the NA under all of the medical reimbursement plan columns or lines, and it is specifically the amount of money that is available in the plan once all the elections have been paid, all the elected contributions have been made. You can see that written out at number 4 as well if you want to go back later, because this is fascinating stuff, and read it again. So whether or not a claim is approved for payment, when the account is fully funded, the available balance is the amount of available funds with regard to with medical reimbursement with regard to the election. So it's the election, less payments, less pending claims, less fees. And with regard to the cash balance, as we said, it's pure and simple. Cash balance is total contributions or consumer deposits in, less claims paid, less the fees, of the cash balance. And then again, just to remind us, the available balance for the medical FSA is different than dependent care because dependent care is dependent upon contributions and not elections. Now, if you have any questions about any of this, please feel free to call us, and we're happy to go through it in detail further. And now I'm going to turn it back to Judy.
Thank you, Jim, for the overview on the year-to-date reports. I hope that will be helpful for our clients going forward to use those reports. So now we're going to go over the employer's next steps. We would like for you to review and submit your renewal questionnaire to BeneFLEX. Review the template letter for employer communication to your employees. So if you would like a copy of the template letter, you may request that from us, and you may use that and update the information in it to accommodate your open enrollment for your employees. We would like for you to set a timeline for educational meetings, for your enrollment period, and then also let us know the submission of your electronic enrollment information for a smooth start to the new plan year. Just remember that in order for BeneFLEX to guarantee all cards are loaded and new participants have their cards by January 1st, BeneFLEX must have your elections by December 2nd. A couple of best practices. What we have found to be some of the best practices are employer seed money. This gives employees an opportunity to experience the benefits of an FSA, offering participants a contribution to their FSA if they may complete a wellness initiative. And lastly, we also encourage you to do mandatory meetings. This always results in increased participation if the participants or your employees understand their benefits. A couple of ongoing proposed changes. There continues to be discussion on allowing participants to roll over all or a portion of their remaining FSA dollars, and the repeal of the prescription requirement for over-the-counter drugs. BeneFLEX will keep you informed if there are any changes through our BeneFLEX. There have been some changes to HRA plans for 2014. Employers will still be able to offer HRA plans, health reimbursement arrangements that are integrated with a group health plan. The integrated plans need not share the same plan sponsor or same plan documents. Also, HRAs that provide exclusively accepted benefit coverage, for example, dental and or vision only, and retiree HRAs still remain. Employees are no longer going to be allowed to make pre-tax payments of premiums for policies issued in the individual market for active employees. In addition, standalone HRAs and limited dollar HRAs, for example, the San Francisco HCSO HRA, are also going to be eliminated as of December 31st, 2013. You are allowed to let the HRA benefit roll forward until funds are exhausted. However, you will not be able to add funds after December 31st, 2013.